How do you prepare firefighters for the flames and soldiers for the heat of battle? Answer: stick them in an igloo. We'll also look at the next generation of warfare and meet those on the new front line. Plus, find out why Microsoft's lost a packet in this week's Tech News and take your first steps to a career in cartoons in Webscape. These days, technology allows us to put ourselves into any situation we want. For example, if you're bored of these barges, we can go to the desert, or space, or the green screen studio at Broadcasting House. Personally, I prefer the barges. But there are times when you really want to feel like you're in the middle of the action. For example, when you're training for intense situations. Mark Chislak went in search of a totally immersive simulation.
Just about to touch down, don't really. Else, he's back just fractionally.
From giant professional flight simulators...
That was an absolute greasing landing, as we call it.
...to building sites. Learning through simulation is now an established part of the training regime of a whole host of industries. Tasks which are dangerous or expensive to perform in the real world can be simulated over and over in a safe environment. But giant hydraulic flight sim rigs can cost millions and are pretty specifically designed for one purpose: aircraft training. A cheaper and multi-role solution is this, called an igloo. The idea is these structures can quickly be constructed in or outdoors to act as training or display spaces. It can even be used to play video games on its giant wraparound screen. Inside, I'm greeted by a 360-degree screen. In the roof, there are 5 HD projectors, all projecting moving images into every direction that I look. But this space is a lot more than just a wraparound cinema. It has some pretty serious applications for those with a hankering for large-scale simulation.
We work from no budget, wanting to create a 360 system. So as a result, we've opened up our template and how we work in 360 to actually try and encapsulate other people's software. Basically anything that runs what is in the background a games engine. So like your computer games that you would have at home on an Xbox or a PlayStation. And anything that holds that sort of 3D environment in the software, we can convert to work on a dome.
By combining the Igloo and this third-party software designed for the emergency services called XVR, the dome can replicate a variety of scenarios which can be used as 360-degree training tools, which are currently being trialled by fire services. Firefighters can move around the environment by pushing this joystick. The surround visuals are assisted by not at all annoying audio.
We find it incredibly useful for a number of reasons, mainly because it's difficult to get the resources that we need to train at this sort of level. You can imagine, as you can see behind me, there's a number of fire appliances, there's a number of personnel, different agencies involved in this particular scenario, and to bring those all together in the real world, if you like, is quite costly and difficult. And equally, it means we can put people in scenarios that maybe they're unfamiliar with, unused to managing, so it's really, really useful to us.
This software has been designed for use with normal desktops and laptops. The 360-degree screen helps to place the user in the action rather than simply looking at the action.
The major advantage to us is the fact that you can get the buy-in from the candidate. So the minute they're in a situation where they've got visuals all around them, they feel like they're in that environment, which is obviously far removed from just looking at a flat screen in a normal room. And that's vitally important to us because how they react then is more realistic.
It is just the emergency services that find it expensive to field large-scale equipment for training. The armed forces also benefit from savings simulation offers.
Well, I suppose the obvious thing which a lot of people concentrate on is cost, and actually this stuff does save you money. I mean, if you say that a guided weapon is about £100,000 and you're going to put a team through a day's training and they're going to fire 10 of these things, then you've saved a considerable amount of real money. But actually what it does in reality is it brings things into a more realistic perspective. So they can do things such as dangerous missions, bring things very close to their own position, all the things that they're not allowed to do in peacetime if they were using live munitions.
Call of Duty and Battlefield are fine first-person shooters for online trash-talking armchair warriors, but this is a first-person shooter, or FPS, with a far more serious intent. Based on a video games engine, this software has been closely developed with help from the US Marine Corps for use on desktop PCs. This space is set up to mimic the work of a team directing air support in a combat zone. An unmanned air vehicle provides an overhead view of the location and the deployment of troops, aircraft and ground vehicles.
What we've got around us now is we've got a team which is in a village, just outside a village in Afghanistan. They're very close to a wall, which you can see over my shoulder, and they're using all the tools that they're given for real, such as UAV downlinks, to see what's behind things, to be aware of what's behind them, and to bring fire missions in and air-delivered munitions really close to their own position.
So we've tried out military and civilian applications for this kit, but it would be a crying shame to leave without trying out a video game. Unfortunately, 5 HD projectors and thousands of pounds worth of kit hasn't improved my virtual driving skills. Oh, wow.
Now, if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can. Our email address is click@bbc.co.uk, and on Twitter we live at BBC Click. But that is it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.